Okay, while we're waiting on everyone to join, I am going to go ahead and prime my face. I'm going to use my Perfector sponge. It is damp. I have put it under water. I squeeze it out really tight, and then I put it into a paper towel or a regular towel, and I just squeeze. And then I'll take a setting spray and I'll spray it on my sponge. That's how I like to do it. You can either spray it directly on your face, and this is the Seint setting spray. This is about the 4th time that I've used it, and I really like it. I was always worried that it would not be good for oily skin. I had read that in a few different places and saw some people talking about it that had used Seint before, but I really like it. I have oily skin as well, but it's worked fine for me, so I'm going to just keep trying to use it. If I don't like it, I'll end up using something else, but right now I do. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my face, and I'm going to spray it on my sponge. Now, if you just barely spray this, it's going to come out in a big stream like that, and it won't go on your face good. You have to really commit to that spray. Press that pump hard, and it'll come out in a mist. So that's what I do. But I put it on my sponge. And then I just go around. And this is how I prime. I prime with a setting spray, and I also set with a setting spray when I'm finished with all my makeup. I'm going to take just a second, let that dry. But I will show you what we're going to be putting on tonight. I got a new lip and cheek color in. It's called Desert Sunset, and it's so pretty. It doesn't look like it is has much color, but it is a sheer glossy kind of an orange peachy color, and it is so pretty on the skin. So I can actually put it on my lips now, and see there's not a lot of color to it, but on the lips, it is so pretty. And I'm going to be using, these are my tints. They're magnetic. They pop in and out of a compact. It has a mirror with it. And then I have my eyeshadows on this side. So this is going to have my main highlight shade that I'll use all over, my brightening highlight shade, my contour, and you can tell the difference between these two colors. This one's a cooler tone because it's a contour, and this is a warmer, and this is my bronzer, and then this will be my lip and cheek, the Desert Sunset, and then this will be my illuminator, and it's the rose gold, and you can see it's got a 3 in it because I've already hit pan, but this is a perfumed illuminator as well. And then for my eyes, let me get rid of this gum. I forgot I had put it in there earlier. And for my eyes, I'm going to be using the colors Basic, Bubba, Stardust, Coal, and it's Rome. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started. No sense in dilly-dallying around. And I'm also going to use my favorite new brush that I have discovered. I didn't think I was going to like it. This is a 3D brush. It's supposed to be really quick, really easy to use. And I will have to say, the first time I used it, I wasn't a fan. But then I picked it up again months and months later, and I love it. So this is my new favorite brush. They're kind of all my favorite, I guess. But I'm going to go in, and first I'm going to start. And the great thing about these, the makeup, is they're cream. And they all have color. They're all pigmented. So you put it where you want it to be, and then you can blend it all together. So that way you don't have to layer product over product. And then it layers, and then it blends seamlessly together to give you a 3D dimensional look without a bunch of products caked on. So I'm going to start with my contour shade, and this is Astoria. And I think I'm going to start with I'm going to start with this hand. It's kind of fluffy and dense. It picks up a lot of product. It's not a heavy coverage brush. And this is a pointer end, and it's a little more dense, and you could use that to really get into the highlight, or even if you wanted to powder with that some, or if you wanted a little bit a sharper line for contour, you could use that. I mean, it's versatile. You could use it for either, but I'm going to use the bigger end. And I'm going to put the contour right right up under my cheekbone. And don't be scared if you put it on and you think, oh, that's a lot. Because it does seem like a lot. But it'll blend together. And even the contour has coverage with it. So it'll help cover any of the, if you have any blemishes or anything like that, a lot of this will take care of the coverage. But now we do have color correctors that you can use also, but you know, it's always a good idea to first see how the makeup goes on and covers all of your trouble areas before you go and buy the color correctors, in my opinion. I mean, they're very affordable. They're $14 each, so you can always add to your collection. But for a starter, I would always just start with your basics and then add what you need. So there I have. I mean, I didn't really do a dark contour there. And I can go back and add a little bit more if I want to. I'll go ahead and do up under my lip. And I'll do this down the sides of my nose. This is a cooler toned contour color. And to be honest, I am neutral. I have, I can wear the cooler or the warm. Actually, as I've aged, I've turned a little bit more cooler tone, surprisingly. Okay, so now I've got my contour on. Now I'm going to go in with my all over highlight shade, which is the color Amber. And I'm going to put it pretty much everywhere that I did not put my contour. I'll leave a few places for my brightening highlight shade to go. And see, all that'll blend together oh so well. And see, like I have a couple places, some H spots. I can go over that in the end with just my colors, and it will typically cover it just fine. Or I can go in with a little bit of color corrector. But for now, I'm not going to worry about any color corrector because it's fine. It's just fine, like it is. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my brightening shade. Got my neck. That is the color Aura. Amber and Aura is a very common duo. They work well together. You would be surprised at the range of people that can wear Amber. And all of our colors have actually color correctors in them. So some of them are made for people with more redness or like a deeper redness or even just a superficial redness. I mean, it's crazy the technology that they put into these colors, but I'm glad they're the ones doing it, not me. And all I have to do is tell you guys about it. And I do sometimes not even a great job at that. Okay. I'm really just going in. And I'm going to put this in the areas that I want to brighten. The center, in between my eyes, down the bridge of my nose. Me-hee-ha! No, I don't. I don't even wipe my brush off. I just dip it right into it. Like this has still got my colors that I just used, and I haven't wiped anything yet. The only time that I might wipe is if I accidentally swiped into my contour and then I'm like, oh, I meant to put on my highlight shade. Then I wouldn't want that on there because it would have a lot of product. But other than that, when you transfer it from your brush to your face, there's pretty much, I mean, there's not going to be tons left on your brush. There may be a little bit, but it'll blend so well together you would never even know it. Okay, so here I have right down the center of my face is where I brightened, and then also there. If I wanted to make a sharper contour here, I could swap what little bit of excess was on the brush. But now it's ready to be all blended together. So I'm going to take this end that I first applied everything, and I, again, didn't wipe it off. I'm just, whatever's on here is on here. And I'm just going to go through and start blending it all together. And some people do like to do the contour first, but I like to do the lighter shades. And I always find that if I'm not careful, you can use too much of it. And so when you use, like some of the brushes we have, I don't have it over here, like the buff brush, this is a full coverage brush, so it picks up a lot of product. It's a really good brush. I mean, it does the job, but for me, if I wear too much, I don't like the feel of it. I like the more natural look. But that's just me. And always make sure you get your neck. And see, right now, it looks, I mean, you can feel it, and it doesn't feel sticky. It doesn't feel tacky. If it does, if you use too much, you need to go over it and kind of pick up any excess with your perfector sponge. But right now, mine feels good. And what I like about it is it's got a little bit of a glowy look to it. I mean, it's just a healthy glow. And now I'm going to go in, I'm just going to blend my contour up in upward motions. And now if I wanted to go back and add some more contour, I could, but I'm probably going to leave it because I'll bronze too. And really, I mean, contour is very beautiful, and sometimes it looks really good, but you don't want it to be noticeable in your face. You know, a big contour line here and a big contour line. You want it to blend and look like shadows and just look like that's kind of how your face is shaped. You want to trick everybody into thinking that you got like maybe a facelift, or have she had some work done? I'm kidding. You don't have to. Now, I have seen some makeup artists that can truly go in and do amazing things. More power to them. I wish I could do it. Okay, when I'm done with that, my next step is to always get my perfector sponge and just go through, and I will, again, this is barely damp. It's just more cool to touch than anything. You can't tell it's even wet, but it's big and bouncy because I had put it under the faucet a few minutes before starting, and then I squeeze out all the excess in a towel. But this is here's your best friend. If you especially have mature skin, or if you put on too much makeup, with any makeup, to be honest with you, this is the best thing to do, is to go over it and to pick up any excess that you have, and it'll press right into your skin. Now I'm going to go in with the bronzer, and I'm going to use my blush and bronzer. I'm going to use the fluffy end of it, and that's my bronzer. Oh, that was my contour. This is my bronzer. Again, you can tell the difference between the cooler tone and the warmer tone. And you basically want to bronze the places close to where you contoured. And when I go in, I'm just lightly doing big circular motions. And it just blends all seamlessly together. And then I gotta do my neck, because my neck is always a different color. And now for the blush, which I have fallen in love with. Really, Again, Desert Sunset. It's a glossy. You can tell it's glossy just by looking at that. Like on my brush. So pretty. And I just put it right above where I contoured. I come down almost right to the apple of my cheeks. It's a new trend now that you don't come down to whatever, but you really do whatever you want to do. Whatever you like, you do you. It don't matter what the trend is. If you want to be on trend or if you want to start a trend. Isn't that just such a pretty color? It is just such a sweet little healthy flush of like a peachy color. Again, I put it on my lips. You can't even tell it's on my lips. But it was a good hydration for my lips. Now I'm going to go in with my lipstick. This is City Beauty. Can't remember what the name of it is. I always forget it. Pink Taupe. I think this is going to be a short one tonight, folks. And I'll go back over it with my gloss in a minute, the same one that I used for my lips. And I think now for the illuminator. It's a rose gold, the perfume. I'm going to put that right along my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, on my Cupid's bow. So there, my whole face is on, except for my eyes. So let's do that real quick. And I don't know how long we've been live, but with me talking through it, it adds about double the time. But it really is a quick process when you get it down, because you can just kind of go through. You can use your fingers, dot it over your face, or you can use a brush and do some quick swipes and then blend it all together. So first we're going to go in with the color Basic. Again, this is Basic, Bubba, Rome, Coal, and Stardust. And we're going to start with the color Basic. I had, right before we first started, primed my eyelids. I used the Undershadow by Sormay. I don't know where it's at. I was going to show. Well, must have done something else with it. And this is just a really pretty neutral all over wash. This color Basic, it looks so pretty on all eye colors. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the color Bubba. And I'm just going to, sorry, did I show you that? And I'm just going to kind of, with my eyes open, hit this outer crease. And then I'll bring it forward. It's kind of a really pretty orangey color. And to be honest, it's really a neutral too that looks good on most eye colors, but with it being orange, it really makes the blue eyes pop. You can look at your color wheel and find your color, and the ones opposite from it are gonna be the ones that really give you that pop. Except for brown. Brown's not on the color wheel, but if you look like between the yellow and the orange color, it kind of mutes into a brown, and then across from that is like, I think, some of your purples and greens, and that looks good on brown and blues. Okay, so now I did Bubba, and I'm also gonna go in with the, I think, Bubba with a pencil end of this brush. I just flipped it over. These brushes are double-ended, synthetic, super high quality. So you're getting 2 brushes for the price of 1. And again, these are all Seint Beauty products, except for the lipstick I put on. And now I'm going to go in with the color Stardust, and I'm going to put that on my lid. Get some shimmer shimmer. And now I'm going to go in with the color Coal. And then I'm going to use the pencil end again. And I'm just going to kind of draw. I almost always do the same, my eyeshadows the same way. If I just use different colors, I still use the same techniques. It's just what works for my eyes. And I'll be honest, I kind of use a basic method that probably works for the majority of eyes. Nothing fancy here, folks. And then I'm going to go in right up under the corner over here. And I don't think I'm going to even do any eyeliners tonight. I'm just going to... You think I'm fancy? I'm not fancy. I'm the least thing from fancy. So I'm going to go in now and blend it all together. And if I want to add more to it, I can. Deepen it back up. But that's going to be good enough for me. And then I'm going to go back with a color basic and just kind of go back and forth. And that'll kind of mute it down for me, which is not too crazy, but I don't usually do dark eyeshadows. And that's always a trick. Anytime if you have something that's too crazy, go back over it with a lighter wash of a color and it'll mute it down. But now, I also have this this towel. It's a, I don't know what, it's like a sponge. We call it a beauty towel, but you can just go in if you want to take off the excess product. Since I use that dark color Coal, I'm going to clean it off. And then I'm going to go in with this color Rome, and I'm going to put it right here on the inner corner for a little extra added pop, and then also on my brow bone. And that's it, fellas. I'm going to go back over to my Desert Sunset. I'm going to take that and put that on my lips as a gloss over this color from City Lips that I'm using. It feels so good on the lips. I could add, if I wanted to add some more, I could add some more of my blush, my lip and cheek. It's such a pretty natural look. And then I'm going to set it and forget it until I go wash it off in 5 seconds. I'm going to, again, go back with my setting spray. I'm going to spray it on my Perfector sponge, and I'm going to go through, and this is what I'm going to do to set my makeup. I could use a powder if I wanted to. And to be honest, you could do a powder before or after, whatever works best for you. I've done it both ways, and both ways work. If I use the Thrive setting powder, I can even use a brush if I wanted to. Let me do a brush. Sometimes I use my sponge most of the time. I can go with the brush. This is the blend brush. And I could just put it anywhere where I think it's going to get shiny. Usually if you're going to do this, you might want to do this before you do the illuminator, so it doesn't mute it down, unless you want it muted down. That's it. And then I always go back over with my sponge. That is pretty much my final step in anything, because I like to press that powder back into my skin. And so the final step, and it really is a final, is the mascara. This is the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions. And guys, we're fixing to be done. I really like this mascara too. I mean, it's one of those when you put on, you're like, wow. You can see a big difference. And you can put on multiple coats and it doesn't clump up. I'm usually a one coater, but I play around with it some. But there you are, people. That's how to quickly and easily put on 3D foundation. Like I said, it's creams. If you're interested or you want to color match, just send me a message, comment below. You can just comment the word makeup or send me a form. I have the links everywhere, anywhere you see, I have links. But, you know, just to make it easier, if you'll send me a message, I'll be glad to send it to you. It's super easy. All I have to do is see a picture without makeup on. You just stand like a couple feet back from a window in indirect sunlight, and then I can look at it to see what your skin tones look like. Thanks. I can look at it to see what your skin tone looks like, and then I can give you your customized colors that you would need. So it'd be like a customized palette made just for you. I'm your personal assistant. So thanks for hanging out with me on another Friday night. It's kind of quiet around here. It's quiet on here, and it's quiet. Like the whole house is like dead. It feels like it's midnight. Is it? No, it's 9:28. Where's everybody at? What's going on? But anyway, I'll see y'all next week.